I work at Playwaze. Some of I don't haven't had a look through who's here, but some of you probably seen me before. But if you're new, welcome. And obviously, I'm going to run through the training for the Playwaze platform. Okay. If you've got questions as we go through, if you want to just pop them into the chat, I know Lewis and Kelly will probably come back to you on a few of those, and then we can always cover some more questions at the end. Okay. So bear with me while I just share my screen. Sorry if I'm sharing faces back to you momentarily while I get the right one up. Cool. So to get started, so for those of you that are brand new, this is the Playwaze homepage, so it's just playwaze.com. What you want to do to get started is we've got our little hamburger menu in the top right hand corner up here. If I click here, I can press log in or sign up if you're brand new. So those of you that are returning, so already got your Playwaze accounts, you can just press log in. That's what I'm going to do today, but for the rest of you that are brand new, you can just press sign up and then create your account. So I'm just going to log in quickly. So this next page, when I land there, is my homepage. So don't be terrified by everything that's in this page, because I am in lots of things on Playwaze. Yours will be a lot more streamlined and a lot lighter to look at. But this is what also your parents have when they log into the system. So they'll have it's basically a homepage of their activity. Okay, so I'll explain this a little bit more detail now. So on the left-hand side, you have a feed. This is similar to most of your social media feeds, Facebook, Twitter. So all of your activity is going on in this left-hand side. Okay. This section here for parents and yourselves will be the communities that you're in. So if you're an administrator of a community, you'll have a community here. So you can see I've got all the active Cornwall communities in my bar here as well. And if you're a parent, this will be communities are your spaces activity providers. So if they've booked an activity with you, that community, so your homepage will appear in their quick links here. Underneath the activities, you can the community, sorry, you can see the activities that they've taken part in. So if I've booked onto an activity, it'll be a quick link here. So that's just explain of this homepage. Yours might be blank because you're probably not booked onto any activities. So this will be blank here. And then at the bottom of the screen, you have a calendar. Okay, so if I've made bookings, I'll be able to see on these dates. They'll like any standard calendar that's even on your phone. Little red dot says I've got some activity happening on that day. And if I click into it, it will take me straight to that booking. Okay, so this is just your home page. For those of you that are logging in for the first time, this will give you the option to either search Playwaze, so search to find something, or to organize. Okay, so at that point, you want to press organize. I'm just going to go a slightly different way through here for now. So the process we're going through now is if you are getting started from scratch, so you haven't worked with us before, basically you need to create a new community to get started. So we're going to just click that organize button, and I'm just going to go through this flow here because I've got lots going on in Playwaze already. Okay, what I'm doing here, so I keep using the word community. So for those of you who are new, it's basically your homepage. We use community because lots of types of groups use the platform. You can see here clubs, coaches, instructors, and we basically need to set you up a homepage within the platform so you can start adding your activities for Easter. Okay, so you want to select create a community and then hit the next button in the bottom right. What you want to do here then is give us some more information. So I'm just going to put activity provider name here. Yours, I'm sure, is a lot. I'm not feeling too inventive this evening, so apologies for that. I'm sure lots of you have nice organization names, but I'm not feeling that today. So I'm just going to add my email address. All of these are quite standard, so you can just go through and add your general information. Your location, you can do an area for this, or you can do a specific location if you want to. I'm going to be super generic and just put Cornwall for now. And then what you need to do on this next step, so because you're part of the Time2Move program with Active Cornwall, you need to make sure that you're connected to Active Cornwall, okay? So in here, when it says search for a network, what this is doing is it's connecting you to the Active Cornwall network. So that just means it gives you access to things like the booking form. It means all of your data is being collected in the same place as all the other activity providers, okay? You don't need to understand that one. It just makes sure the system works correctly for you. So where I start typing Active Cornwall, and you can see 22, 23 come up, you want to select that one. Okay, and then the last option on this page, you get to select your default for your type of activity. So you might be a gym provider, or you might be delivering just hockey sessions or football sessions, or it might be multi-sport. So you can just start typing into this list, and you can see you'll get lots of options will appear. But what I'd suggest here is if you're delivering lots of different activities, but they're all mainstream sports, you could either just choose one that you deliver the most of. So it might be football, might be korfball, all of those sorts of things. Okay, and then once you've done that, you can press create. So what this is going to do is it's going to hopefully, fingers crossed, when my internet plays ball, it'll land me on my community homepage. Okay, and then this is essentially where I'm going to get started creating my activities. So what we do is we default some things on for you here as well. So there are some things that you can turn off. So I'll show you how to do that now as well. But when you first land on this page and you've created your community, what you want to check is that you've got Active Cornwall 22-23 at the top. So it should say your activity provider name, and then it will say Active Cornwall at the top. So this is really important because it just means that I know I've created my community in the right place. So you've seen from my homepage at the start that there's lots in Playwaze. You just want to make sure you're connected to Active Cornwall. That'll make the next steps a lot easier. Okay, so just some general navigation of this page. When you land here, you can come and add a banner image. It'll default to the one that's just set at the moment for Active Cornwall. You can add your own logo. These obviously make it really nice for your parents when they're booking. They'll recognize your branding, all of those sorts of things. So you can come in and make it really obvious that you are who you say you are. Before you get started doing anything with activities, so I know most of you will want to dive straight into create activities. What we want to do here is just check we're happy with everything. So this little blue settings cog you can see in the right hand corner is available for you because you're an administrator. So you're an administrator of this area because you've created it. Okay, so some of these buttons won't be available for your standard users, your parents, when they come along and book. Okay, they won't be able to see a lot of this. We don't have how to explain it, like a front end and a back end of Playwaze. So if you're an administrator, you just have more buttons that show on the platform. And if you're a parent that's booking, you'll find the book button and manage your activities, things like that in the platform. Okay. So I just want to show you the edit menu here. So where I created my community at the start, I might want to come and update my description. You can also add things like your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram links, and maybe a phone number. This would be really useful just in case a parent needs to get in contact with you, that phone number will be displayed. And then you want to just click along to your security settings. Okay, so I just want to let you know these are here. We default these for you, so they're all shut down, safeguarding, protecting your any bookers' information. But you can just see that you can come in and check those here and update them as you wish. Okay, so I'll just jump back to the home page. There are some bits that you probably need to turn off in here. So there's lots of things in Playwaze. So if I just go to the select features page, what I can do is I can turn some things off. So I can just go and hide all of these features that I don't want turned on because I'm not running teams or any of the competition stuff within the platform. So if there is something in your community that you don't like the look of, or you don't need because it's not relevant, you can just go and turn it off. Okay. For those of you that are returning, there is now a calendar widget that's actually in the platform, which will show your activities. I'll show you how this looks like a little bit later on in the demo because I've got already got some content set up. But that's one that you can go and turn on from the menu. But I'll show you that a little bit later. Okay. So once I'm happy that I've kind of trimmed down my homepage and I've got everything here that I want to, we can get started with creating your activities. Okay, so when I hit create activities, you'll get 3 options that pop up here. So because I'm connected to the Active Cornwall network, you have a premium subscription that is already active. So you can see on this page, it's pre-selected premium for me and it says subscription active. Okay, so those of you that are returning and potentially didn't see this at Christmas, I think it might have been post-Christmas this was released, this page will look slightly different. You need to make sure you select premium activities when you go through here. Okay, so don't select anything on the basic version because it won't be collecting any of the data that you need to collect, and it basically will cause a little bit of a headache for those of you that take any bookings on either of those. Okay, so you need to make sure premium is selected, but fingers crossed you shouldn't have to do anything. I should just press create activities and press continue because it should be pre-selected for me. Okay, so that premium activities is the one that we want to get started with. So when I press continue, this will take me into the activity create. So we're now in the process of going, right, I'm ready to get my activities live on the platform so parents can book them. Okay. So this first page is around the type of activity. So we do have a couple of options in the platform for you, but we're going to focus on physical activity because that's what we lost my train of thought. Obviously the focus for is them turning up to an activity at a physical location. So this is the one I've got pre-selected here. The option below this, so yes, I would like this session to be listed publicly, and no, I don't. So what this is within the platform is basically we share your activities wider. So we're an open data platform. We can share your activities further. Because HAF is a eligible program, you need to be eligible for it. You probably don't want this to be sharing any further than just those that are eligible to book onto free school meals. I know some of you are taking paid bookings as well, but you want to select no on this one. Just keeps it nice and easy and just means it's not being published anywhere that you wouldn't want it to be. Okay. This next page is around giving us some more detail about your activity now. So this is where you're going to start to tell the system about your activity that you're running. Okay. So you can upload an image. This will look really nice on the activity finder, which I'll show you towards the end later on. But you can come back in and add this stuff later. So if you don't have an image yet, don't worry, you can come back and add it in later. You want to give your activity a title. So I'd steer away from calling it Easter activities, because everyone knows it's going to be Easter activities that you're uploading to the platform. So you might want to include a little bit more information about the type of activities you're running. So if I'm running a multi-sports at a certain centre, it might be that. But basically you want to just try and give parents a bit of an idea of the type of activities you're running. So they might see the title of it and go, oh yes, I'd like to book that. Okay, so I'm just going to do multi-sports for now. Okay. What we then do here, we've got opportunity to add categories to the platform. You probably don't want to worry about this one too much, but if you are doing key stages, it might be used to categorize them. What this does is if a parent is booking through the app, it'll give them the option to kind of open and close a category. So if you're doing different key stages with different activities set up, you'd be able to go, right, these activities sit in this category and these in this. So it's purely for visuals for those booking. You'll remember when I created my community, I selected multi-sports as my default activity type. If I'm not running multi-sports, I can change this here by just removing it and retyping, but it's just reset there. So hopefully that makes it nice and easy. I don't have to keep reselecting my activity type because it's my community default. Okay. This next page is your main page for you to be able to kind of like tell parents as much as possible about your activity. So the description, firstly, is included in the booking confirmation. So when a parent books your activity, the description is included in that. So it's really useful here to kind of add all those bespoke things potentially about drop off, pick up, where your venue is, go through this red door, not the blue one, use this car park instead of this, if your child needs to bring something with them to the camp. So all of those really particular details that obviously aren't going to be generically set in the settings and within the platform. So this is your opportunity here to kind of put a couple of external links in there if you need to. It might be that you've got a menu listed on your website somewhere and you can link the link in here and it can take them to your website if they wanted to have a look at what you've got on as your meal plan. So yeah, the description is really important and obviously gives you that opportunity to really tell parents what your activities are about, what's going on, how to get there, where to park, and all of kind of that necessary information that they might not be sure of before they start. This is also available for parents before they book, so they'll be able to view the description of your activity before they book, so you can talk a little bit about what you provide as well in here. Okay. You can also add a promo video if you've got any links to YouTube. So if you do have a short clip on YouTube about what your activity looks and feels like, it's really nice for a parent if they haven't booked with you before, if you can share something like that. So those of you that do want to share a link to a video, that will also be embedded if you can enter a URL here as well. Okay. So we're still in the process here of describing what our activity is about to participants. So a parent's looking through the activity finder on the Time2Move website and they're going, oh, will my child be suitable to go to this? So you can give some of these are fixed. So the difficulty, gender and disability are all fixed fields, but the age range allows you to kind of let people know what age ranges you're working with. Just to be clear on this age range, if I've put 5 to 11 years old, it's not going to stop anyone booking outside of those ranges. It's purely for display. Okay, so when they click on that activity, if my child's 7, I know that they'll be suitable to be able to go along to this. Whereas if this was only 9 to 11-year-olds, I know that my child possibly wouldn't be suitable for them because it's an older age group. Okay, so it's not doing anything with eligibility there. It's purely just letting parents know that this is the age range you're targeting. Okay, the last option on this page here is an interested list. Okay, so when your activities start to get fully booked, what we do have in the platform is to the option for you to run an interested list if you want to. So think of this as like a reserve list. So when I've taken all my bookings, I will have a reserve list of chronological order of parents that have expressed an interest of their child going to this activity. So this needs to be looked after manually. So if someone cancels your activity when you're fully booked, you'll get an email. I'll show you where to turn that on in a moment. And when you get that email, you'll obviously then be able to contact people on your interested list. So if you have got lots of people wanting to book onto your activities, which I'm sure there will be, and I think it's been used extensively in the past, you can actually build that list there, and then you can contact them and say there's a couple spaces now available because people have cancelled. Okay. I know there's emphasis on previous rounds from those of you that have worked with us before and Time2Move of obviously making sure you try and fill those spaces that are cancelled. So an interested list is a really nice way of doing that, and obviously making sure you're making sure those spaces are being used and people are attending them as well. Okay. So this next page is around scheduling. Okay, so this is basically telling the system the dates that you're running your activities on. This is slightly different to those of you that have worked with us before. You'll probably see that the scheduler looks slightly different, and we are slowly making updates to this as we go. But we'll focus today on repeating. So the first option along the top is repeating one-off on blocks. I imagine for Easter, the main ones that you're going to be focusing on is repeating, or if you're just doing one day of delivery, which is where you would select one off and it's a little bit of a smaller flow. I'm going to do a repeating schedule for you today, so we can just run through this today, and I'll use the Easter date so I can show you exactly if you're delivering the 4 days before and 4 days after. I can show you exactly what that looks like. Okay. Firstly, you just need to let the system know how long your activity takes place for. So I'm just going to do 4 hours for now for this example. You have the ability to add an organizer. So this is a separate setting within the platform. Okay, so if you are one administrator and you have 2 different locations and you have 2 different leaders at those locations, obviously you can't be in 2 places at once. The organizer role basically gives that individual admin level access to that activity. Okay, so I can have 2 organizers. They can't see the other data of the other organizer's role, so they can't share it, and it just allows you to give admin access to them. They can track attendance. So if you can't be in 2 places at once and you have got multiple venues going on, you can use that organizer role to basically hand off some admin responsibilities, so they can view the registers, take track attendance, but also contact if they need any of the data on participants. So if something happens and they need to get hold of a parent, they'll be able to access their emergency contact details and things like that. So that organizer role is a really useful tool if you need to give a team leader essentially access to platform without giving them access to all of your activities and everything within the platform. Okay. This next option here is to set a limit on your activities. So how many people can attend your activities. So the option here obviously is just how many spaces you've been funded for. If you are delivering with us and you're also taking paid activities, this needs to be the total number. So the free school meal places plus the amount of paid spaces you can take. So it needs to be the highest number. I'll show you how to split that out if you're doing, just to make sure your free school meal places are locked. So if you've got 10 free school meal places, you want to make sure you keep those as 10 free school meal places. But I'll show you how to do that later. So I'm just going to set this as 20 for now. You can select an existing venue, so it's up to you. If you're new to the platform, you can add your own. You'll also be able to search the platform for existing venues that have already been listed. I'm just going to select this one for now, but you can add a new, and you will be able to search for platforms as well. Venues instead. Okay, so hopefully you can find the venue that you're operating out of. Just on that as well, it'd be really useful. We don't connect with like what 3 words or anything, but I've seen a lot previous rounds, they've used what 3 words in the description at the start. So especially around for people trying to locate the venue, if you know you're out in the sticks and it's not quite right on a Google map, it might be better to use that as well. So just make sure that's readily available in the description as well. Okay. The next 2 settings you've got here is when you want to open and close your bookings. I'm going to just focus on the closed booking settings for now. So this just allows you get everything sorted when your activities before they take part. So if you do need to speak to a caterer, if you do need to organise that you've got enough staff, if you want to make sure you're checking through your bookings, check they're all the right age, check if you've got any extra SEN needs that you need to cater for. You want to close your bookings maybe 1 or 2 days before. So this will allow you to kind of print your registers and just get everything sorted ahead of your activities taking place. Okay. So now we want to start adding our dates to the platform. Okay, so I'm going to run through the actual Easter date. So I'll skip down to April. So I'm going to do the Monday to Thursday to start with. I'm going to select weekly here. The weekly scheduler allows me to select the days that I want this to appear on. So what the process we're going through now is we're going, right, we're starting on the 3rd. We're selecting a time. So I'm going to start my activities at 10 o'clock. I'm sure some of you might start them earlier than that. I'm going to select weekly in here, so this will show the activity days, and then what I want to do is select an until date. So this is going to be until where are we, April. So we're starting on the Monday and we're going to finish on the Thursday. Okay, so that's my first schedule. So that is my first part of my week of Easter. So I've got those 4 days before. And then what I want to do here is add more dates. So some of you might be running on different days, so you'll have to mess around with this. We do have some useful stuff in our knowledge base online. So if I just type help into here, and then if I, how can I schedule my activities? So if I just open this up, you can see here we've got some knowledge base online about how you can actually schedule your activities, and this will help you if this doesn't quite fit your fit how you're delivering over Easter. And then I want to put the second half of the week in. So I'll go from the 11th. I'm going to press weekly. I'm going to take my Monday off, and I'm going to now be delivering to my Friday. And then we're going to change this to Friday the 14th. Okay. So this is what your sessions would look like for Easter if you're running on the full eight days. Okay. And if you've got the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, if they're grayed out, this means that when we create it between those 2 dates, none of those days are going to appear. Okay. So we'll have the Monday to Thursday and then Thursday to Friday created as sessions. Okay. If you've got any questions on that, we're here to help. So we've got support at playwaze.com. You can, of course, get in contact with the Time2Move team as well, but we can help you schedule these and get these right for you. So yeah, if you can't work it out from when you've had a go from here, don't worry too much and just get in contact with us, and we can help you out with this one. Okay. But hopefully that's a useful example, and fingers crossed, most of you will be able to copy this for Easter. Okay. So we've got 2 things to run through on this page. So I'm not sure how many of you are taking payments on the platform. So I'm going to run through both options. So firstly, I'm going to run through not taking payments. Okay. So on this page, you're going to press no, nice and simple. And then when you get to the next page, what you need to do here is you'll have free half bookings only selected, and then you also need to select free school meal code. Okay, so your page on this will look like this. So free half bookings only and free school meal code. So what this is doing is it's just you're telling the system that you're only taking free half bookings. So it's going to pop up that a booking form for your parents. So when they're completing it, it's got emergency contact details in. It's also going to check that their free school meal code is valid. Okay, so you need to pop up the booking form, which is free half bookings, and then add free school meal code into that. Okay. For those of you that are going to take payments on the platform, yours is going to look slightly different. Okay, so I'm just going to jump back a page, and you're going to press yes, I would like to take payments. Okay, so this is where your setup slightly changes. Okay, so I'm going to select my payment receiver. So what you will do if you need to take payments in the platform, you'll need to set up a merchant first. I'll show you how to do that when I've completed this activity, but you'll need to go in and set up a merchant account. So we use Stripe, so you'll need to create an account with Stripe, and then when you go through this flow, you'll be able to select yourself as a merchant. You want to set a booking price. So this is your activity cost per day. So this is what it will cost each day for your activities to attend. And if those aren't eligible for free school meals, what they'll pay to attend. So I'm just going to put £15 in here for now. What you'll then need to do to make sure that what the system is going to do here is it's going to allow those that aren't eligible for free school meals to pay for your activity, but you also need to tell it to give them a discounted price if they are eligible. So that's where we're going to use discounted pricing now. So just below here, I'm going to use the plus button. I'm going to call this free school meals, and the price is, of course, £0. Okay. We want to make this available to the free school meal code. So anyone that has a free school meal code is eligible to receive my activities for the price of £0. Okay. And then what you can do And I imagine those of you that are taking paid and free school meal places, you need to secure those free school meal places. So if you're funded for 10 places, you need to make sure those 10 places of your activity stay available for free school meal children. Okay, so I want to put spaces 10. So what this is going to do is it's going to lock 10 spaces for free school meal children to be able to book with that code. Okay, and then I've got the rest of my I think I set this to 20 out of memory, so the scheduling page, so it's going to leave me 10 other spaces that are able to be able to book to be able to pay onto the activities. Okay, so there's a slight difference here with the payments. Obviously you're pressing yes, and then when you press continue, your form that you need on this page is slightly different. So this is now the form that I need. So what I'm doing here is I'm telling the system that I'm taking free bookings, but I'm also taking paid places. So because they run both off of, they're asking the participant different things, because you don't need to check whether they're not eligible because it's only free spaces. So you have to have a free school meal code. Whereas this one, you can actually book onto my activities because I'm taking paid places. So I can have a free school meal code, but I also can't. So they have to do two different things. Okay. I will recap that again. So with payments, you go through and set up your payments. I'm just going to remove all of this now because I'm going to just do this as a free, as not taking payments. Okay. So participant eligibility, I'm taking free only. Okay, so I'm just going to jump you to my other screen. Where is my pages? So if you're taking only free, this is your page. And if you're taking payment, so this is useful if you want to watch this back in the recording as well. So revisit this bit. And then if you're taking payments, your eligibility page needs to look like this. Okay, so you've added your discounted pricing for your free school meals. If you get stuck with this and it's the first time you've used us, please get in contact and just go, can you have a peek through my activities to check they're correct? That's totally fine. We're happy to do that, and we'll probably do that at the start. That's why we're asking you to upload your activities early as well, so we can go and check to make sure you've got all the settings correct. But that's really important. The payments, obviously, if you are taking payments, you need to slightly change around the forms within the platform. Okay. We've also got QR codes within the platform. So this allows you to track attendance through QR codes. It's up to you whether you want to use them. I think where we've seen this using a habit, it's been quite complicated because parents are booking on multiple accounts and maybe 2 or 3 children. It's quite hard to scan QR codes if they're scanning one on the door. So it might be that you can enable QR codes, but you want to send it to the participants, and then you as the organizer can scan them. That's probably the way I'd suggest doing it, but it's up to you whether you do want to use QR codes or not. So I'll leave that as an option for you. The penultimate page here is notifications. So the platform will automatically send notifications to your parents that have booked onto activities. Okay, so the platform will do some of this for you. We definitely recommend sending out separate comms and separate emails. You'll have all of their information from those booking forms that are collecting the data. What you do have here is you do get a booking prompt. So if they've booked on a couple of days of your activity, but they haven't booked some others, they'll also go, they'll say there's spaces available on other days. So you'll have other different other notifications here in terms of come and book some of the other activities because they're available. You'll also have a booking reminder. So where they get their booking confirmation when they book, you can also send them a booking reminder. So this, you might want to set this to three days before your activity, or even 2, just so parents remember they've booked something and remember to turn up to your activity. And of course, if you want to email on top of that, you can as well. Okay, the second half of this page is around organizer notifications. So we spoke through that setting that was in the scheduling page. So giving a team leader that organizer role within this activity. You can send them a nudge to make sure they track attendance. So make sure they're doing the register and actually updating it within the platform. So that automatically updates your numbers, and it means you don't have to report separately back to Cornwall about we've had this many people attend. You just mark them as attended in the platform. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. But your organizers can get a notification for that. And you can also enable activity notifications for when someone cancels. So if someone cancels their activity, you can it will make a notification and it will tell you that you've got spaces available. So that allows you to monitor that interest and reserve list if you need to. Okay, finally, this is around promoting your activity to the activity finder. So we want to leave this one ticked to make sure it appears on the Time2Move website. Once I've created my activity, the first thing I'm going to recommend you do is you hide it. So if I want to make any changes to this, there is lots of functionality in this page. So, and I don't want anyone to accidentally book just in case I've missed a day or I've not got my times right. So if you use the settings cog in the top right hand corner and just press hide, what this will do is it means parents can't find it and no one can book it. So it just allows you a little bit of a breathing space to make sure you can set up your activity and it's all correct. Okay. So there's just a couple of things that I want to run you through on this page before I jump into showing you kind of how to manage your bookings and things like that. When you land on your activity create page, you want to see a green crown. So this means you've made your activity in the right place and that green crown should be showing. Okay, so that means I'm collecting all of the right data and that I'm using the correct set basically. So I'm using all the correct settings. Okay, so that's from that create at the start. So if you see a green crown, we're halfway there. Okay, if you notice something slightly wrong, you can edit your activities in a couple of ways. So you have the option to edit all of your activities. So if I realize here that actually I'm 10 till 3 and not 10 till 2 and I need to add an extra hour onto my activities, what I can do here, if I press the settings cog and press edit, what this edit will do is it will open up what pretty much looks like the create flow here. Okay, so I'm going to go to my scheduler and go, right, I want to extend my hours to 5 because I've got that slightly wrong. And then press save changes. And what this is going to do is it's going to update all of my activities and now it will say 10 till 3 instead. Okay, so it's updated it by an hour and it's updated all of my activity days so you can see each one. If I, for example, this is about one in terms of, let's just say that Monday the 3rd was the bank holiday and I wanted to edit this day, I can cancel that day. So if I've got one slightly wrong, you can also, for those of you who are new, you can actually remove dates. I would be really brave to press this button because if you remove something, it's not coming back. So just be aware if you are using that remove date button, it's not going to reappear after you press it. Probably don't go too trigger happy on that one, but you do have the ability to edit individual days as well. So I can edit if I wanted to update the organizer. So for example, my team leader's off on Monday to Thursday, so I want to edit this activity and you'll see the difference here. This is a really small edit. So on this one, I'm only editing the 3rd of April. Okay, and I want to change my organizer. I'm the only person in this for now, so I can only put Playwaze as the organizer, and then I can save the changes. And then hopefully when we land back in, you can see my organizer role has saved as Playwaze here. Okay. So you've got the option to edit all of your activity dates or just one of them as well. So just glance your eyes over, check you're happy with all of the information you've put in here. So you've got your description, check it reads okay, check your location, and then obviously the dates that you've got available in here as well. Okay. Once you're happy, you can unhide your activity. I'm going to leave it as hidden for now, but you can unhide so by just pressing show, and this means your activity is good to go and ready to be booked onto. Okay. I'm going to now jump into another screen just to show you a couple of examples. So this is, hopefully this is following me. Can someone just confirm why you've got activity provider in front of you? I'm hoping my whole screen's shared.
Hi, Emma. Yes, that's right. We have, before you move on, we have had a question in the chat. Sure. So Rupert has asked, can we schedule AM and PM sessions?
Yeah, sure. So in the scheduler, I'm trying to think if I can just jump to one now so I can just show you. This is a different edit. Let me 1 second. I'll just show you quickly because that's a really good question. I obviously know lots of you do AM and PM sessions. So where we've got add more dates, what you do is you'd have 4 in here. So you do your AM session starting at 10. And then let's do your, what's that one set to? Let's do your PM session starting at 1. And then you'd just be able to add those schedules in separately. So I want to update this to the 11th to show the next one. So we'll do this 11 till 14th and change that to the Friday and change that to 1. Okay. So this is what it would look like as AM PM. So I'd have my AM sessions on the Monday to Thursday, Tuesday to Friday, and then I'd have my PM sessions on the Monday to Thursday and Tuesday to Friday. Okay. Hopefully that's useful. I'm not going to press save on that just because I've already got some bookings on here, so I don't want to break my bookings. Okay. Hopefully that's answered your question. I will jump back into this one. So those of you that are returning, the calendar that you can see at the top of my screen is new. So you can go and turn this on. So if you need help finding it, if you just press the need help button and then see new feature calendar widget, this will open up a new tab and it will just explain how you can embed this slightly differently. So like you're able to embed your activities on your own website, you can also embed the calendar now as well. And as a parent, they can just select at which week they want to view your activities on. And you can see the slightly different change in my week, and then I can click that activity and go and book it. Okay. So you've got the option to share your activity. So you can either share the block, so it looks very similar to this. So you've got for those of you that are new to the platform, as well as your activity being on the Time2Move activity finder, you can of course share your activities on your own website and also embed directly from Playwaze. So you can use these share buttons, and you can see the links here. So these links at the top, so the shorter ones can be used, social media, newsletters, all of those sorts of things, if you're posting out things that people can click and go and book. And then you've also got some embed code underneath. So if you have got a website and you want to embed your activities, so the calendar is a really nice example of that. So for Easter, and if you're delivering with us, end up delivering with us in summer, you can also use that calendar feature to show the activities you've got scheduled. There are lots of nice bits in here, so you can change the color of your activity if you don't quite like what it's defaulted to for you as well. So you can change the color of them as well, so it just looks a little bit nicer. For those of you that add lots of activities, this is brand new, so we don't know what it will look like with lots of activities in it, and it is new. So if there's any feedback through Easter where you go, oh, it'd be useful if it could do this, and anything like that would be obviously like gold dust to us. So if there is anything you want to send through to us on that, that would be lovely. I next wanted to run through just managing your activity and bookings. So I'm just going to jump into my actual activity page. So on this one, I've actually already marked myself as attended on this activity, but I just wanted to show those of you that are new how you can manage your bookings. So first of all, each individual day has an admin bar here. So you can either, where I showed you how to edit, it also has a register for each day. So you can see here, I've only got one booked onto here for now myself. You can order this by name and export it as well. So if you wanted to export your register to go and tick through, if you're in a remote location, you won't have signal to use Playwaze, you can obviously download this and check. What you'll also have on this register is all the data that they've completed in their booking form. So things like emergency contact details, their dietary requirements, SEN needs, all of that will be in this book, in the register as well. So when you download it, all of that data will be included. Okay. To then manage your bookings, so when I say manage bookings, it's basically mark those who have booked your activity as attended. So have people turned up. I've cheated a little bit because I'm already booked onto this one and it marked as attended. But if I just remove myself here, I go back into the booked. So I booked this one earlier, and if I press manage bookings, I basically can select. I can select all of them if they're available. I can change the order by name if I want to run it alongside my activity. And then if I just press attended, it just moves me into the attended list. Okay, and updates me here. So that you can do this at the end of, at the start of your sessions, at the end of the day, at the end of the week, depending on how you're doing it. But it just automatically updates in the platform. And obviously that's really important for your data monitoring within Playwaze as well, to make sure you're confirming who's attending at your activities within the platform. Okay, that can also be done within the app or on the phone. Web version of phone also works exactly the same. So if you've got access as an admin, you can actually go and mark your registers on your phone, tablet as well, if that's easier. Okay. The next bit I wanted to show you around managing your activities is the activities dashboard. So along the tab bar at the top here, I've just pressed activities. Okay. This just shows you a breakdown of your activities that you've added to the platform. So there's obviously quite a few in here. This is an overview. So if you just wanted to have a quick look to see on average how your days are looking across each day. So this is broken down per day. You can see total number of spaces, that are booked. So if I just scroll down one to here, you can see here, I've got three spaces booked, 7. So it works this all out. And then also we'll mark attendances as well. So if you just wanted a real top level view of how your activities are going booking wise from when you take bookings, you can view that from here. You can filter by date as well. So if I just wanted to do the next 7 days, oh, I've got no activities. If I do last 30, what have I got in here? this month. I definitely have activities in this month. But you can basically filter by date. Maybe I didn't have anyone in this month. Filter by dates, and you can view what activities you've got on. Okay, and you can also filter by organizer. So if you are working with multiple organizers, you can find them through here, and you can also sort by all sorts of things in here. So total number of attended, so you can see your best camp day and things like that from here as well. What you can also do from the activities dashboard is view your bookings. So what I've done there is just click on report on, and the bookings can appear. This is going to show me all of the bookings that I've had throughout my activity going live. Okay, so I can see the name of participant, the name of the activity they've booked onto, the venue, the date and time of the activity, but also the date and time that they booked. Okay, and also the date and time that they cancel if they do cancel. Okay, this data is really useful, and it might be worth keeping a close eye on some of this. If you have people that cancel late often and it's the same person, you might want to speak to them about it, why they're cancelling. Can you help them with anything, or is it just someone's not very well and didn't want to attend today? What you also have in here is a status. So this is really useful for just tracking your registers and things like that. If you do need to add someone manually, you can see that you've added them manually. And that if it just says attending cancelled like this, it just means they booked themselves. Okay, so you can see which ones as an administrator that you add, and then versus the ones that actually managed to book and cancel themselves, etc. So what the booking sorry, excuse me, done lots of talking. When you get to this page, if you have a parent that contacts you and is panicking, can't remember what they've booked, you can actually just type their name in here, so their child's name, and their bookings will appear. So if you do have anyone that contacts you, it's really useful to just be like, oh, I can actually look and check your bookings, and you can also then reconfirm with that parent that they've either missed something if they've not provided a little bit of data, if you've added them manually, etc. You can do that from here as well. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. 40 minutes of talking straight gets to my voice. Right, where are we here? So the final page I wanted to show you around reporting before we jump into how your parents book is just the reporting page. So you have the option to download all of the data that's in your community. So I can download from my members section. So this is just a list of anyone that's joined my community, but I've also then got all of my activity bookings, attendances. You'll also see these on the activities dashboard, so you can see that everything can be exported. So if I wanted to download this, keep my own records, you can do that as well. The one final thing that I wanted to show those of you that are returning and have used us before is that we have filters in the platform now on activities. So previously we were hiding your activities to archive them, but now you have the option to do both. So if I just press this filters button, this is also available for parents to look by venue. So if you're delivering out of multiple venues, they can actually just come here and select the venue they want to book from. Okay, what you have the ability to do now is hide and tidy up some of your activities. So if my activity demo is now completed and I don't want to view it anymore, I can actually archive it from here. So if I just press archive, what this will do when I go back to my home page, you'll see that it's no longer appearing, but if I do want to find it, I just need to filter by state. And if I change it to archived, you'll see that it's now appearing in my archive state. Okay. Some of you that have old activities on the platform, they would have been automatically, or we've hidden them from last time. You'll just need to change it to hidden. You can archive them or you can leave them there. Okay. So you've just got 3 states. So you've got live. So they're viewed activities they'll be able to book. Hidden are, I might be still working on this, so I'm not ready for bookings to go live yet, so I've hidden it. And then archived is I've delivered this activity, I've marked my registers, and that is all completed. So you've got those 3 states within the within your homepage now to obviously keep it nice and tidy. Okay. We'll just run through quickly the booking process now. So I'm going to just jump back to my web page here. Here we go. Hopefully it's still following me. So a parent will go through the Time2Move website and they'll find your activities. So they'll search via location and they'll click book when they find the one they like. So I'll just copy that now. So I'm going to just press book. Oh, I'm going to be booked onto most of these days. I feel like I've done most demos. 1 second. So what you'll see the system is doing is telling me that I can't book on days that I'm already booked onto. So that is logic that's within the system. So if a parent has booked, they can't double book essentially. So you can't be in 2 places at once on Playwaze. So that was almost an accident, but good to show you for your understanding. For those of you that are new, a parent won't be able to book 2 places at once. So it will stop them from doing that if they try and book. So I'm just going to press continue here. So at this point, when I've pressed book, if Playwaze if they haven't created a Playwaze account or they haven't booked before, it'll ask them to create an account and log in. At this point, it'll ask who they want to book for. So hopefully at this point, parents go, right, well, I want to add my child to this because I'm not booking for myself, I'm adding my child, and they can select their child accounts from here. Okay, so who would you like to book for? I'm just going to use my account for now. So when I press Playwaze, what it's going to do then, it's going to pop up the booking form here. Okay, so I've already completed this form, so it's saving my data. So the really nice thing about using Playwaze is that your parents can book multiple activity providers and they only have to complete one booking form once. So they don't have to fill out different booking forms for each provider they go to. Okay, so once I've completed all of this data, it won't let me continue until I've completed all of this throughout the platform. So all of this needs to be completed. I think I missed one then. Number. So all of this data has to be completed before I continue. Okay, if I don't, I can't remember how I set this one up. So if I don't enter a free school meal code at this point, because it was only this, remember when we set this up, this was only a free school meal booking, so there's no payments on this one. It's not going to let me continue because I haven't entered an eligible free school meal code. Okay, so this is what the platform is then going to do. It's going to block me out from booking this activity because I've not got a free school meal code. Okay, at this point, and if I also select no here, it's not going to let me book. 1 second while I just go to my other page to show you what the I'm just going to show you what the dates look like. So I'm just going to open it in another page for you. I've done one of these on a smaller booking form because I've not completed all of the fields on this one. 1 second. There we go. Okay, let me reshare my screen 1 moment. I've lost my Teams tab. There we go. Here we go. Hopefully I'm back now. I've got this one as fully booked, so because it's live on the platform, so I don't want anyone else to book it. So I've already booked these. But at this point here, it's going to ask me. This is this will show. This will be green tick boxes where I've selected the dates. Okay, and this is also the reserve list as well. So this is how a parent will then reserve their activity and go, yes, I want to be added to a reserve list for here as well. It's not going to let me do any of this because I don't think I have this turned on properly here. But when I go through this flow, it will basically ask me to complete the booking form, confirm which dates I want to book, and then it will allow me to confirm my activity and then book another child as well at that point if I want to. Okay, once that's all completed and I've gone through that flow, and my homepage will go, we'll go back to my homepage here. Parents will then be able to see this on their homepage. So the red dots will appear. They will have received that booking confirmation. So that booking confirmation would have come through and it would say, here's the provider details. Here's how I cancel and manage my booking. So we've changed the order of that in the booking confirmation, so it's nice and easy. But say this was a week ahead and I want to cancel this activity booking, I can just click it directly from logging in. So as I click it now, and then if I want to cancel, I can just hit cancel from here and it'll update me as cancelled from my activity. Okay, so it's a really simple process for your parents to be able to book, but then also to cancel their activity as well. So if they've gone through and booked and then later on that week, that evening, they realize they can't make that date, they can click on that day and they can cancel it immediately from their booking confirmation as well. Okay, so they can do it either way. They set that up. Okay, I'm aware that I've spoken quite a lot now, and there's a lot to take in there in terms of obviously getting you set up as a new provider, adding your activities, and also just how parents use the system as well. Of course, if you get stuck or if you see any of that error messages that you're not quite sure about, you can of course get in contact with us. So just to be clear, for those of you who are new, if you come up with if you find a system error, you probably don't want to send that through to Kelly or Lewis. You can of course let them know they're having that problem, but they're probably not going to be able to fix it for you. That might be a Playwaze problem. So if you use support@playwaze.com, it'll likely be me or one of the members from my team will come back to you and help you get your activity sorted. So it might be a booking issue. So parents can also contact us if they get stuck, and you can put them through to support@playwaze.com. Okay, so if you do have any questions, but if anything in particular about Playwaze, but also if you do get stuck with anything, please feel free to obviously just get in contact with us, because we will come back to you and we will help you get set up with your activities. I don't know, Lewis and Kelly, whether there are any more questions that came through in the chat at that point. So there's probably a little bit of time now to do questions if anyone did have any questions. Or am I going to get stone cold silence because everyone wants to run off because it's 10 to 7 and they've had enough of hearing from me today? Does anyone want to be brave and come off of mute, or you can put your question in the chat if anyone does have any questions? Lewis, I'm not sure if there's anything that I missed, or anything that you wanted to just add on top of that.
No, just I think obviously the really important bits is just making sure we get those correct tabs within the setup right, and probably just for awareness for everyone on the call, we're looking to go live for bookings on Monday the 6th of March, so not this Monday coming, Monday after. So that gives you just a bit of time to get everything up online. So the way that we sort of promote that is we promote the Playwaze Finder page to all schools and to everyone who's booked onto our system in the past. So if you are able to get your activity up online before sort of middle of next week, then that gives myself, Kelly, and Emma and her team to make sure everything's set up correctly before we go live. So we have hidden a few projects already, because we have had some people try to book on already, which is good in one sense, but obviously at the moment they haven't been able to. So yeah, so if you are able to have a go, then great. If you do get stuck, then obviously Emma's there, and you've also got our phone number as well, so which is 01872 32 33335. So any problems, then give that number a call. We'll do our very best to help, and that number's working between 9 and 5 on all work days. So yeah, hope that helps. So Robin's just sent an email in. Do we email you to ask that we've completed it correctly? Does that, Robin, does that mean no, we don't necessarily need you to email us to let us know that you've contacted. Towards the back end of next week, we'll be all going through to check, make sure everything's up online okay. And then if there's any issues, then either we can tweak it or let you know how things change. Hope that helps.
I just wanted to say on Robin on that one as well, if you do get started and just aren't sure, just pop an email into support and we can just quickly have a look at it as well. So if you do want to get ahead of the game and you're ready to go, just fire it through to us and we'll have a quick look for you to check your setups. Okay. I think we've had another question as well, Lewis, on can I list my activity out of Easter holiday program time? This one keeps coming up.
Yes. It depends when the dates are, I think. So we can, I think what we'll try and do, Elizabeth, is we'll probably give you a call in the next couple of days and just find out what you're thinking, and then we can sort of advise from there, if that's okay.
Has anyone else got any questions they wanted to run through? Cool. I reckon that might be might be the end.
Yeah, just from us, thank you very much then for coming along tonight, and we really appreciate you you're taking the time out. And yeah, hopefully best of luck for Easter. Myself and Kelly and Tim, and we've got someone new starting on the 13th of March. We'll be looking to come around to visit as many sessions as we can, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully in the start of April. So yeah, I would say have a safe trip home, but probably most of you are at home. So yeah, thanks very much.